Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaye Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Namah Pranavahathaye Shuddha-jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaye Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Tejascha Preyascha. Two goals for life. Most human beings to whom both are available tend to follow prayers. Very few want to take on stress. We are programmed, trained to say that I will only take what I can see. What can be proven? That is why we have this great phrase called we should have scientific temper. Because we want to only accept what is available to us by the 5 pramanas. Both Shreyas and Preyas have duties allocated. Duties are based on Varna and Ashrama. Varna, as you know, Chaturvarnyam Maya system, either based on one's guna, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, or based on one's karma, same name, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, and by ashrama. Brahmacharya ashrama has very specific duties, primarily to study, not focus on anything else at all. Grihastha ashrama, which is the most productive ashrama for the society, where also has very clearly detailed karma to be done. Vanaprastha ashrama also has karma specified. Sannyasa ashrama is the only one, and that too formal sannyasa ashrama. We talked about manasika sannyasa ashrama. Manasika sannyas one can take, but there you still have duties, karma to be done. Only when one takes a formal sannyasa, following all the rituals, does Shastra absolve the individual of all karma. No karma is specified. So when you say Shreyas and Preyas, people might follow the Shreyas route either as a sannyasi, in which case nothing else matters, or as a person who is a karma yogi or a manasik sannyasi. In each case, you continue to do karma, but your goal of moksha is very clear. Once that moksha goal is clear, there is no choice. As long as one works on a goal of prayers, there is a variety of goals available, none of which ends. There are so many goals one can work on. They will keep on taking us round and round, round and round, round and round. There is no end to any of these goals. There is no end to the ends that we follow in prayers. Only when we know that with clarity that Shreyas Mumukshutvam is what I need to follow, then there is no other goal. When that becomes the predominant goal, that becomes the priority goal, that becomes the only goal, if anything, then everything else falls by the wayside. Otherwise, there's always so many things to do. And bulk of humanity follows that. In a sense, it is like sheep behavior. Everybody follows, I also follow. I get recognized by the society that I recognize. The society which values certain things as achievements, as success, I also follow the same. Fortunately, in India, in Bharat Desha, although many sannyasis may not be jnanis, there is a certain element in the minds of almost everybody saying that if he is a sannyasi, he must either know something that we don't know, or the way he goes about his life, dropping everything that I consider significantly important, not making an attempt for any of those things, there has to be something behind it. Particularly when you know that the person who's taken sannyasa has achieved a certain modicum of success in the Jagat. There are sannyasis who have taken to sannyasa very early, with absolutely clear end in view. There are others who now become suddenly in the limelight because there are in the Mahakumbh, there are a lot of news about IIT Babar, IIT Sannyasi. You see a lot of people who have achieved great things in our Jagat here and have taken sannyasa. So then you start wondering, if this person has achieved so many things which I value and has moved away from there, then what is it that he knows that I don't know? So that some amount of doubt is there in the mind. And if this person who has achieved big things in life, that as I consider big, the Jagat considers big, Jagat considers successful, has dropped all that or not given any importance to all that and gone on to take sannyasa, then maybe all the other sannyasis also have understood the same thing that he is understood. So even though there are thousands of sannyasis at the Mahakumbh, all of them respected. Somewhere in the back of the mind, we have a certain respect for them. We also have a certain deeper respect for rishis. We may not know who these rishis are. We may not know what powers they have, but we heard so many stories about them. A rishi need not exhibit power. He need not walk on water. He need not do things which look impossible in this Jagat because they have nothing to prove to anybody. And yet, this whole jingbang of people who follow prayers, look at people who follow Shreyas with awe and at the same time with suspicion. There is an element of question in the mind. Should I be following what he is following? Try and find out what he knows that I don't know. Or should I be satisfied with achieving the so-called successes in life? Given our background, we always have an element saying there may be something there. It is like the conversation Yajnavalkya had with his wife, Maitreyi. When Yajnavalkya, apparently very rich Brahmana, I don't even know if he's a Brahmana, decided to hand over all his wealth to the two wives. And decided to go seeking that knowledge which is total freedom. His wife questioned him. You are giving me so much wealth and going. Whatever it is that you're seeking by going wherever you're going, will all this wealth get me that also? Obviously, it is something much higher than the wealth you're giving me. That's why you're going there. You're giving all this wealth away, and these are things which we value in this Jagat, wealth. Things that are linked to security, artha, or kama. You're dropping all this and going elsewhere. You're giving me so much wonderful. I can see what a great life I can have. But will this give me what it is that you're looking for, which is obviously much higher than the wealth? That kind of questions come up. But there are many who will just take it as it is. Wow, today I've got huge wealth. I don't have to worry about my food tomorrow. Which probably what his other wife, Katyayani, did. She didn't question him. At least there's no record of it in the Upanishads. Maitreyi argued with him. So even among the huge population of people following prayers, many will have a doubt at the back of the mind. What is it that these people who are following the other path, the non-conformists, what are they going after? Can there be some value there? A value which is much higher than the value that I can get here? Is that why they become non-conformists? If you don't have a very high opinion of their intellect, of their capabilities, one might say, no, poo-poo, there's nothing there. But if some of them have great intellect which you value, have great successes which you value, you start saying, what is it they have? So, Yamadharma Raja, in answering Nachiketa's question, takes these two and presents to Nachiketa beautifully. Shreyas and prayers are both available to the entire humanity. You have to choose. Once you've chosen prayers, choices open up much more. Multiple choices open up. Once one has chosen Shreyas, all choices disappear. There is no choice. Amazing the way he expresses all of these things. Then you also start thinking, if Shreyas is so good, in fact, the very word Shreyas, one meaning is superior. What is good for you, what is best for you. The other meaning is moksha, which is obviously the best thing that can happen to one. And yet, between these two, how come bulk of humanity follows prayers? Because in the previous mantra, what did he say? That tayoho shreya adadhanasya sadhu bhavati. The one who chooses Shreyas has success. Now, how do you define success? Do you define it by saying who has the bigger car? And the other one, hiyate arthat ya upreyo vrinite. One who chooses prayers, he falls from the artha. Artha here is mokshartha. He indeed falls from artha because he is never going to get it. Then, with that given background, how come so many people follow prayers? So the Acharya, introducing the next verse, says, Yadyupe api
Yadyubhe api
kartum swayatte purushena
kartum swayatte purushena
kimartham preya eva adatte
kimartham preya evad
bahulyena lokaha
bahulyena lokaha
iti uchyate.
iti uchyate.
So Shankaracharya introduces saying, although yad ubhe api kartum swayatte purushena, Purushas can choose either one of them, Shreyas or Preyas. So the Ubhe here is the two, which have been defined earlier. Kimartham, how come bahulyena lokaha preya eva adatte? How come they only choose prayers? Both are available, equally available. How come most people, bahulyena, is chosen by many, by most, by majority, not just simple majority, by a huge majority? Iti uchyate. Therefore, he says, who Yamadharmaraja says. What does Yamadharmaraja say? Shreyascha preyascha manushyametah
Preyascha preyascha manushametaha
tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha
tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha
Shreyo hi dhiro vipreyaso vrinite
preyo hi dhiro vrinite
Shreyo mando yogakshemat vrinite.
preyo mando yogakshema vrinite.
A clear reasons given by Yamadharmaraja. How come so many, such a large majority of people choose prayers? Shreyascha preyascha manushyam etaha. Manushya has both available to them, both are presented to them. Etaha, there is no such word as etaha. but it is a itaha, etaha. Sandhi rules. A itaha. Itaha is, it comes from the root in gatau. And a itaha, itaha is in gatau vivachanam. Kartari prathama purushaha. It is available to, both are available to Manushya. Shreyascha preyascha manushyam etaha, a etaha. Okay, both are available. Dhiraha, dhiraha is the thinking person. In many places in the Upanishads, you will see these are defined as dhiraha, brahmanaha, various other words used. People who can find discrimination, who understand atma anatma viveka. So dhiraha, dhira purushaha, tau samparitya vivinakti. Tau, the two, samparitya, having examined, sam plus pari plus again in gatau, having pondered over, having thought about, having contemplated upon both these. The one who can make out the discrimination, who has the capacity to understand, vivinakti, pratak karoti, is able to see the two separately. What is prayer? Where does it lead? What is Shreyas? Where does it lead? Not overwhelmed by sheep behavior. Just follow the herd. Because they use their discriminative thinking. And they separate these two. Which dhatu? Which means to separate. Vinakti. Vinakti is clearly separate the two. That which dhatu, they know they are able to separate that which is prayers, what is it and where would it take one, and what is Shreyas and where would that would take us. They're able to see them. On the other hand, Dhiraha, not on the other hand, Dhiraha means they're the same people. Preyasaha Shreyohi Abhibrinite. Again, a very funny construction. Shreyohi Dhirobi Preyaso Vrinite is what the Shastra word says, sentence says. The Abhi belongs to Vrinite. Abhivrinite. Shreyaha hi Dhiraha Preyasaha Abhivrinite. Compared to prayers, these dhiraha chooses, they choose Shreyas. So Shreyaha hi dhiraha preyasaha abhivrinite. So they look at the two, they separate the two, they see what is prayers, what is Shreyas, and having looked at them, compared them, they choose Shreyas. Like I said, they choose Shreyas does not immediately mean they become sannyasis. Otherwise, you will probably have a lot more sannyasis in this world. But they become karma yogis with clarity about mokshutvam. That's what I want to do. All these other gains I can get by prayers is not going to be the driver for me. What about the others? What about them? The one who wants to choose prayers. Preyo mando mandaha. Mandaha is manda buddhi. Yogakshemat preyaha vrinite. Yogakshemat. For yoga and kshema. We have come across this Yogakshema earlier also in Bhagavad Gita. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paripasate tesham what?
Esham nishthabhyuktanam yogakshenam.
Yogakshemam bhamyaham. I carry the responsibility of yoga and kshema. So ones who hand over that responsibility and not say, I'm going to chase after kshema and yoga, Bhagavan takes care. You take care of it. Only you can do that only when you understand the idea of Bhagavan. Again, goes back to Karma Yoga. I want yoga and kshema. Yoga is what? Apraptasya praptihi. Gaining something I don't have. Could be anything. Could be some form of artha, some form of kama. But gaining something which I don't have. And kshema is preserving and growing it. So yoga kshemam is what I'm looking for because I live in this world. I need to take care of my body. I need to take care of my facilities. I need to take care of my family. Therefore, I need yoga and I need kshema. But I can hand it over to Bhagavan and say, you take care of it. Then what am I going to be doing? If you're going to take care of yoga kshema, what am I going to be doing? You do only two things. You be clear that your end goal is moksha. Mukshutvam is where I want to head. And since I am still following Yogakshema, although I've given it to Bhagavan as a responsibility, aham bahami, Bhagavan says, so it's okay, you take it and carry it for me. You do whatever karma you do, you have to do, your kartavyam, you do that. You do that because it is to be done. I am not doing it because I am expecting this yoga or I'm expecting this kshema. I may still have the expectation, but it doesn't bug me. It's not the link that I'm committed to. It's not a concomitant link, invariable link. This is, it's like saying x equal to 2y. Inevitably, they are related. You can specify one, the other is automatic. If I specify this, that I will do this karma, this result must come. No, it won't. That is not a invariable relationship. Therefore, I do what I have to do because that is my duty. And I hand over my yoga and kshema to Bhagavan. I continue to do what I need. Of course, I want good things for my family. Of course, I want to be healthy. Of course, I want to be reasonably comfortable. Of course, I want my next meal coming through reasonably well. All that I leave to Bhagavan. I do what I have to do. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Yogakshem Vaham Yaham Aham Vahami. You don't worry about it. You focus on what you have to do. But what do the prayers followers do? This is in fact the difference between one who does karma and one who can think of it as karma yoga. I am a karmi or a karma yogi. This is the big difference. A karmi follows prayers. Karmi says, Manda buddhi, Mandaha, Yoga Kshemat, Preha Vrinite. I want this and I'm going to do this to get this. All my life, I wanted to own a BMW. From the time I was a teenager, I've been wanting to own a BMW. I had at that time not too much idea what BMW is. Only when I later found that I did finally find a BMW, it is considered low end. What I got is considered low end. The big things have come after that. My life I've been wanting. If I work, I do this, I do the other, and try and get my whatever yoga that I'm chasing after. Yoga kshemat mandaha preyo vrinite. This manda has two definitions you can think of. One, a manda buddhi is not an idiot, not a fool. That's not the meaning. Not a dullard, not a dull-witted person. It's a person who has not been able to see the difference between prayers and shreyas. And therefore keeps following prayers like everybody else. Because he has not worked out what is the end goal. He is the one who lacks the discriminative power between what is an ultimate goal and what is a goal which can come by and go. That is the Manda Buddhi. It is with respect to your Purushartha that one can call a person a Mandaha. He may be very intelligent. There are many people in the world who have an IQ which is very high, 160 and things like that, and they will talk about taking only prayers. Many such people. So it is not a definition of their intellect. On the other hand, people who may not have such high IQ may say, no, there is something because my Shastra says this is what I should follow, I follow. They may choose that. So it is not a definition, when Mandaha is not a definition of a dullard. Mandaha is a definition of a person who does not have clarity of purpose. There are many people who don't have clarity of purpose, even in terms of within prayer, because so many things that you can do. Many times you see people, as long as they're working in wherever they're working, they have something. They go at 9 o'clock to the office, do whatever needs to be done, come back at 5 o'clock. Some purpose is there. But they don't really have a life purpose. So what happens when they retire? I'm sure all of you have seen such people. They are lost because they don't have a purpose. They just don't know what to do. And then they will go to somebody who will write on the internet, you must take up a hobby, you must do something or the other. There are enough advisors available to you on the net. What are 5 things you must do after retirement? No purpose. I'm sure we've come across a lot of such people. So, Shreyascha Preyascha Manushyameti, itaha, sorry, dhiraha tau samparitya vivinakti. They carefully examine and differentiate the two. Dhiraha preyasaha shreyohi abhivriniti. They choose shreyas over prayers. Mandaha Mandaha on the other hand, yoga kshemat preha vrinite, because they want to gain yoga kshema. They don't recognize that their ability, their authority to gain that yoga kshema they want is not really theirs. Phaleshu adhikaritvam nasti. That is not in your hand. Give it to Bhagavan. We will read the Bashyam and see how Shankaracharya expands on this very nice concept of Shreyas and prayers. Satyam syatte swayatte, sorry, Satyam swayatte.
Satyam
Satyam
svayate.
svayate.
Swayatte is available. Te, the two, both are available. That is true. Satyam. Both Shreyas and prayers are available to every human being. Like everything else in life, you have a choice. From the time you wake up in the morning, you are exercising choice. Should I get up now? Or should I sleep another 10 minutes? Exercise the choice. Having got up, should I go for a walk? Or should I skip it today? Every step you're making a choice. But the bigger choice is between Shreyas and prayers, you have this available to you all the time. True. Swayatte. Tatapi.
Tathapi.
Thapi
Sadhanataha.
Sadhanatah.
sadhanatah
Phalatasya.
Phalatascha.
palatascha
Mandabuddhinam.
Mandabuddhinam.
buddhinam
Durviveka Rupe.
Durviveka rupe.
rupe
Durviveka Rupe Sati.
Sati
Sati.
durviveke
Vyamishri
rupe sati
Bhute.
Vyamishri
Vyamishri
bhute.
bhute
Vyamishri Bhute Iva. As though we will see.
Vyamishri bhute iva
Iva Manushyamedam.
Manushyametam.
Purusham. Aitaha.
Aitaha.
Aitaha
Prapnutaha.
Prapnutaha.
prapnutaha
Preyascha Preyascha.
Shreyascha.
preyascha
Both are available. Even though both are available, Tathapi, both in terms of the effort and in terms of the end result. Because the prayers followers will connect my effort to my end result, which you've seen is not true. You've seen you don't always have control over the end result. In fact, if you look at the relation between what effort I'm making and what end result I'm seeking, the factors which connect this effort to my end result can be of three types. There are factors which connect my effort to the end result, which I know. Not only do I know them, I also have a certain amount of control over them. This is one category. So if you want a BMW, you know that you have certain X amount of money. Unfortunately, what happens is by the time you collect the X amount of money, now the BMW will have raised their price. So now even that is not enough. But you know that there are certain things which you can, and you know you can do them. Some control is there. The second category is factors which you can recognize, but you know that you don't have any control over them. You don't have any control over whether BMW will keep coming up with new models. In fact, you know they keep coming up with new models. You have no control over them. You know the factor. I am trying to get a BMW because it positions me according to me in a certain level in my society. Therefore, I want that. But by the time I've got there, I've got a 3 series of BMW. My neighbors have got 7 series. No control. I know the factors, I don't have control. But the largest set of factors that connect the effort to the end result, I don't even know what they are. There are many, many, many other factors which will affect the end result, and I have no idea what they are. How can you then say that I will do this, I will get this? You can't. So, both in terms of my effort and in terms of the end result that I'm trying to get as the result of that effort, sadhanataha, palataha cha. People who don't understand this, the manda buddhihi, manda buddhinam durviveka rupe sati. He defined the manda buddhi also. Because they don't have the viveka. Not having the viveka between these two, not being able to separate them, they are not able to do what the dhiraha does. Dhira vivinakti. Here they don't have the viveka. There is no vivinakti. Therefore, durviveka rupe sati vyamashri bhute iva. Everything looks mixed up. Mishra is to mix. Vyamishri bhute iva, as though they are, Shreyas and Preyas are thoroughly mixed up. I can't separate them. Only when I separate them will I say, okay, I will choose this, just to choose this. Then only apply my discriminative power to say I choose Shreyas. I couldn't even see the difference. So, durviveka rupe sati vyamishri bhute iva. Manusham, it depends on Purusham. Everybody, ayitaha. They have the two choice but mixed up. Both are available to them, but in a form they don't recognize, in a form which is thoroughly mixed up. They gain propnutaha. They is available to them in a mixed up, completely mixed up way. They don't, as though they are completely mixed up. We've seen this example of this tadita, where a red hot iron ball has this element of the iron as well as heat. You don't separate them physically, but you do have to separate them in your thinking. There are two things there. That what is available to them, what is propnutaha is vyamishri bhuteva. What are the two that are mixed up? Shreyascha preyascha. The two are thoroughly mixed up. Like if our milkman puts water in the milk, or milk in the water, whichever he does it, I don't know. You can't make out. But like the mythical Hansa bird, which is supposed to have the power to separate milk and water, one should have that viveka, that power, to separate, not physically, but cognitively separate shreyas and prayas. Only then is there a question of you choosing. Ataha
अतः
अतः
hamsa iva
हंस
hamsa
इव
iva
ambhasaha
ambasah
payaha
पयः
payah
tau
तौ
tau
shreya preya padarthau
shreya
श्रेयप्रिय
padaर्थौ
samparitya
संपरीत्य
samparitya
samyak parigamya
samyak
सम्यक् परिगम्य
parigamya
manasa alochya
मनसा आलोच्य
आलोच्य
guru laghavam
गुरुलाघवम्
vivinakti
विविनक्ति
पृथक् karoti
पृथक्
करोति
धीरः धीमान.
धीमान
Nice example. Ataha, like the mythical Hamsa bird, Hamsa iva. What does it do? Ambasaha, payaha, milk and water. Ambasaha, payaha, tau. How the two mixed up, you can't see. You can't physically separate the water from the milk unless you distill it or something like that. But like the mythical Hansa bird, he is able to drink the milk and leave the water alone. Like that example, Ataha Hamsa iva ambasaha payaha tau. What are the two? Shreha preha padarthau. Clarity between what is Shreyas, what is Preyas. What is both in terms of the effort and the object that you're trying to achieve. Shreya preya padarthau. Shreya preya padarthau. Between the two, samparitya. Very carefully seen. Look, this looks like a mixture. This is both water and milk. Examining it. It's all thinking only. There is no physical examination. Samparitya says samyak parigamya. Manasa alochya. Carefully analyzed. We have enough knowledge to see that there are people who follow prayers. We also have knowledge of people who follow Shreyas. Both are there in front of us. We know where the people follow prayers get. Some may end up getting what they started out to get. Some may not. But both of them, the ones who get it and the ones who don't get it, have still not got anywhere. On the other hand, the people who follow Shreyas, we don't even know where they're going. But that there must be something that they are looking for, like Yajnavalkya. That much is clear to us. Shreya Preya Padarthau Samparitya Manasa Alochya. Why is he going there? Why is he doing that? Why are so many people following that route? But compared to the majority, the very small minority. Why are so many people going to Kumbh or Tirtha Yatra? If you go to the Tirtha Yatra because somewhere you heard that it'll wipe out your papa, nothing wrong in that. But why do you want to wipe out your papa? That is the important thing. I want to wipe out my papa so that I can go to Svargaloka. Yes. I want to go there to wipe out my papa so that I'm better prepared for Moksha Jnanam. Yes. Shreyas. That clarity, if is there, Dhiraha Guru Laghavam Pratak Karoti Vivinakti. Chooses, separates. Who dhiraha? Dhira is a dhiman. Dhiman, if you take the dictionary meaning, it is one who has buddhi. Everybody has buddhi. There's nobody here who doesn't have buddhi. How do you call it dhiman? One who has the buddhi which can separate this. That dhiman. You know, when these words are used, dhanavan, for example, when you say somebody is a dhanavan, everybody has some dhanam. How do you say that he is a dhanavan, he is not a dhanavan? He must have something special, lot of dhanam. A dhiman is one who has a discriminative buddhi, as compared to somebody who also has a buddhi but is not discriminative. Aviveka buddhi. That dhira purusha, that dhiman, he chooses, having seen the two different separately, shreya preya padartho samparitya, guru laghavam vivinakti pratak karoti. What is guru laghavam? Guru is that which is weighty. One meaning we know guru, one who removes andhakara. But guru also has the meaning of weighty. From where you get the word gauravam. Many people are named Gaurav. Comes from the guru. Laghavam is the opposite, lightweight. What is important, unimportant. So that distinction they're able to make, there's a two different separate things which are presented to them as a mixture. A dhira purusha is able to make out the difference. So pratak karoti cognitively separates the two. I'm sure all of us have looked at this and all of us have had certain amount of doubt. It looks like, there's so many people wise people are going that direction. There must be something there, but how can I give up this comfort? How can I give up this security? How can I give up what looks like giving me at least some form of sukha? All of that is doubts. But dhira purusha separates the two and is able to examine them positively. Vivichya
Vivichya
Shreyo hi
Shreyohi
Shreya eva
Eva
Abhivrinite
Abhivrinite
Shreyasaha
Preyasaha
Abhyarhitatva
Abhyarhitatvat
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 Shreyasaha.
Kusudhiraha.
They are able to separate and Abhyarhitatvat. They see being able to see the superiority of Shreyas, which is better of the two. They're able to make that distinction, that Shreyas is better than Preyas. Vivichya, having examined, having thought about it, having considered it, Shreyo hi eva abhivrinite. They choose Shreyas because they've selected, they've understood it. Because Preyasaha, Shreyasaha, Abhiharitatvat. Because Shreyas is, they clearly see which is better. Why should I follow Shreyas and not Preyas? They are not short-sighted. We will continue tomorrow. I thought I'll finish early, but I've already gone off to the regular time. We'll continue tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate
पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते
Om
शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति
Shanti.
Shanti.
Hari Om
Hari Om
Tat
Tat Sat.
Hari